Back to This Wasn't in the MLS. I'm super excited today because I have my videographer and photographer, Josh.
Hey
So
guys.
we have Josh today. So tell us, Josh, what do you do and how did you get into it?
Gotcha. Great question. So what I do, my wife and I run a full service real estate media company. So we do photos, video, 3D tour, drone, floor plans, and other kind of marketing content specifically for realtors. How did I get into it? So before living in Pennsylvania, well, I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, but for some years I lived and worked in Florida, and I had done photography really as a hobby. And one day somebody asked me to shoot their wedding, and I shot their wedding, and then it just stacked from there. And people were like, "Oh, you do photo," and just kind of got into shooting all different kinds of stuff for businesses, and then for people and portraits, all that kind of stuff. And I always wanted to get into real estate photography, but it's such a specific niche, and it's really hard to like begin just because realtors are very picky about their media, and if they trust somebody, they're gonna stick with them. So I tried when I lived in Pennsylvania back in like 2018, and I actually got connected with a real estate photographer back then, but things just never worked out, and I moved on. I moved out of the area, but it was always in the back of my mind, like I want to get into this just because to see all the properties and really just tell the story of a property behind the lens.
Yeah.
And so when I was in Florida, I was able to shoot a few Airbnbs, but because of my day job, it was very difficult to like really offer my services to realtors, because you guys know, like you could get hit up tomorrow and say, "Hey, I've got a listing," and then you'd hit us up, "Hey, can you be there tomorrow at this time?"
Oh,
and
yeah, I do that to you all the time.
it just not work out with a regular 9 to 5. So yeah, I was able to shoot a few Airbnbs, and then job transfer from Florida to Hawaii, and there my job was an even bigger salary job. So there was really no time to like, say, "Hey, I'm going to take a 2-hour break and go shoot a property." It just wasn't going to work. But anyway, since resigning and moving back to the mainland here, I was like, I'm going to give this a go full time. Like, we'll give it a year, and we're just going to make this happen. And so when we moved here, we got connected with a few local realtors, and I was like, "Hey, this is what I do. Here's some of my work." And really just kind of took off from there. So since 2024 of June, have been doing it full time.
Yeah, and you're like killing it now.
Yeah, thank you.
Like,
Thank you.
I got you when I first, I feel like you didn't just first start here, but maybe like a little bit after that. Like you were filming Tim and Heather.
Yeah.
And it was ironic, actually, the way I met you, because I had no idea that you filmed Tim and Heather, but you were messaging me on Instagram. And I was like, you know what? I'm putting my own house on the market. What better time to try you out?
For sure.
And I was wanting to do media and video for a while. And I was asking my current photographer if he would do video with agent on camera. And he was like, "Oh, we're getting into it, maybe." And it was like, all right, I really want to do this. When can I do it?
Right.
And then I found out actually later that because you were at our award ceremony.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, is that him? I think that's him. Yeah. I think that's the same guy. And I didn't realize until after that you also did Heather and Tim's stuff. So, I thought it was really fun filming the first time. I was like, oh, I'm going to start doing this literally all the time now, because it was just like, the first time was nerve-wracking, but then we really hit the road, and we were like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
But it was super fun. Yeah. So what separates average versus great real estate marketing?
Great question. I'll attack this in two ways. I'll attack the photos and then the videos. So make sure I heard your question right. You said what separates good or average from great. So for photos, there's some, let's see, there's little minor things that it's kind of like death by a thousand cuts. There's all these minor things that that could differentiate like good from great. And then when you have a bunch of good photos that have like a trash can or something ugly in there that just wasn't moved, or the blinds weren't in a right way, or you can see underneath the cabinets when you're looking at kitchen shots. Those are things that like I notice, like, oh wow, somebody actually took the extra step to raise their tripod up or move this out of frame, or Photoshop something out, right? To me, that's what separates like good from great, as well as just your composition and angles. And it's really hard. That's something that I'm trying to do a better job at, like explaining and teaching to my team now, because sometimes I just, for doing it for so long, but also having kind of like a creative, like artistic eye, and I'm constantly, before I press the shutter on every single photo, I'm like, what am I selling here? Right? Especially for these homes that have like bathrooms that are like super small or unique, or like rooms that have like a little bit of a bump out, you could go into the mindset of like, I want this room to look as big as possible, but sometimes making it look as big as possible isn't the most flattering. So it's like, what am I selling here, and how can I make it look the best? So those are things that even when I'm reviewing other photographer stuff, I'm like, yeah, I can see where they kind of cut some corners here. But yeah, for me, automatically, just off the top of my head, I'm like, underneath the cabinets, if you can see those. Now, sometimes that's impossible because cabinets are so high, and it's like you'd be shooting almost like, at 6.5 or 7 feet in the air. Right. But those are just some like minor artistic details that I noticed between good and great. Now for video, really I got into the media space starting shooting video, wedding videos. So for me, what I see is definitely like audio is like, I don't know what the stat is. Audio is 80% of your video. So if your audio doesn't sound good, and that's what I noticed when I moved to the area, the agent on camera videos, they weren't even miking agents up. And it wasn't a specific provider.
Right, so it sounded far away.
It sounded really far away, or it was super windy and you could hardly hear the agent and stuff. So, really seeing a gap there, and like looking at my services, how can I fill that? But also just knowing from shooting weddings and other corporate things is like the sound design needs to be there, right? Not just clear audio with the agent's mic, but other sound effects that are, you see the timelines of some of these videos where it's like all the whooshes and the risers and all of these different things to keep you engaged into watching the video. So to me, so to kind of answer your question there, what goes from good to great with video is sound design and audio. It has to be like on point. And sometimes where, if the audio from the agent maybe lacks, but that's where your sound design could be stronger, or just different things like that.
Also, like I've noticed with like other companies' videos too, is like the way that it's filmed as well. And like you can't do good edits unless it's filmed correctly. Right, is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
If you, I mean, like I watch you film all the time, obviously, because I go to our appointments and everything, but you're just so, like, you're so making sure that nothing's shaking and nothing's like moving the wrong way, and then you're going back and checking it and you're like, nope, that wasn't good, I'm doing it over. So you're definitely super into it, which is great, because I'm a pain in the ass, and like I probably drive you crazy, but
it's all good. It's all good.
So what would you say that most agents are doing wrong right now?
Well, if agents aren't doing video or don't have a social media presence, I would, even if it's DIY stuff, like I'm not a person to say every agent needs a professional videographer or a team or this, that, and the third. Some agents, I get it if they can't afford it, but showing up on social media, getting your name, your face, and building your personal brand, I think is the biggest thing that we could be doing in 2026. So if you're not doing that, that's number one, what we're doing wrong. And then another thing I would say is if all of your posts are just listed, just sold, pending, that's so detached from people. People want to see people, and people want to connect with people. And, so whether that's just behind the scenes footage of your day, or some market update stuff, like I love it. Every time I pop on social media, like between my first 5 posts, it's always like on my feed is like your market updates from Wayne County Wednesday or Pike County Friday. Right. And that stuff is providing so much value to people who either are looking or people that own homes there. And it's like, okay, it's nice to know what my asset is doing. Is it going up or is it going down? Should I sell right now? So yeah, definitely getting engaged online. And keep in mind with that, like, I know it can be super discouraging at first of like, oh, my post only got 100 views. Only think about a room full of 100 people and you're talking to 100 people. Like, most people hate public speaking is one of the most like feared things, right, by people. So to imagine,
me.
imagine your post got in front of 200, 300 people. Imagine speaking to a room of 300 people. It puts things in perspective. So all that to say, like, get on social media, let people hear your voice and see how you are and connect as a person. And I'm like, more and more, I'm a little anti AI. Like, I know it can be easy to do AI stuff, but social media, now I'm seeing a trend of like people, as soon as they you watch the analytics of some of this AI stuff and it's like they immediately swipe. They don't, because they know that it's fake. They're like, I don't even want to deal with this. You know?
So that's actually, it's funny you mentioned that because that's actually something that was really talked at the Remax conference this year, about AI and like the Sora videos and all of that crap. And I know Tony Ray Baker is like a really big AI guy with us, but like he's out of Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
He's a Remax agent, but he talks about how to use AI the correct way. And he's like, Sora is not it. It's like, people are actually losing trust in real estate agents if they're using AI in their social media super often.
Or only.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a replacement.
So many people are only doing it. It's so bad. It is so bad. But that was a big topic, and it's just not it. It's not. It's cool. It's super cool that they can take your face and redo it into the same, like it's the same person, but it looks fake and it sounds fake now. It's if you hear my voice, me talking to you today, and then you hear my Sora voice, like that's not my voice. So they know it's not me.
Right.
So I agree. That's a really big thing. And the second thing to what you said about social media is a lot of people think that, just starting out, that social media doesn't work. Like they get 100 views and no comments or no likes. There are so many people watching on the back burner that aren't commenting. And I've had people recently, actually, I think last week, somebody messaged me on TikTok and said, hey, Megan, I have a appointment today to go see a house, but I've been following you on Facebook or TikTok rather. And can I cancel with the agent that I'm using and go with you instead? And I was like, well, if you didn't sign anything,
right.
Like I'm happy to help you, but that's because I have a social media presence. Right. So she feels like she knows me.
Yeah.
But she, like, I don't know. I never met her in person, but she felt like she knew me enough to hire me instead of hiring somebody who's not on social media.
Right.
So that's just really something to think about too.
Yeah, that's huge. Because I think with that, like, people, trying to think of the easiest way to explain it, or the reason I think it's so powerful is you'd probably now have hours of content, even with your podcast now. Yeah. Somebody could find you on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, find your podcast and listen to you for probably, let's call it 7 hours. Now they feel like they've known you for days, right? Meeting with you for days. They see all of your market updates. They see your listing videos, or they see your behind the scenes funny stuff, and they feel like they know you. And that's time that you're not even spending meeting with every individual, right? And that's so huge, like how to buy back your time. You spend 30 minutes making a video, you post it, it's out there forever, and it's continuing to get seen by people and people and people. Biggest, I think, the return on investment there is insane, you know?
The $2,000 I spent on podcast equipment. Worth it.
That's it.
Doesn't feel worth it right now, but it's worth it.
You're buying hours. You're buying hours back.
Exactly. Let's see. What does video do that photos can't?
Wow, great question.
I knew you were going to be stumped on that
All
one.
right. So I'll answer that with a question. When's the last time you stopped scrolling at a photo?
Stopped scrolling.
Hmm.
I mean, not not really,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Do you want to? Where is he?
Sean's gonna get
Okay. Um, gotta love the little ones. They're
Yeah.
precious. Um, yeah. So I answered that with a question. When's the last time you stopped scrolling at a photo? Um, Video can tell so much more of a story than photo. I mean, even I'll touch back on it, the sound design. Like you could watch a horror film, but if it has like, some kind of like just different soundtrack to it, it's not scary at all.
Right.
But if you watch it with the soundtrack and all the emotional things that music and sound can do, like even just closing your eyes listening to music, it takes your mind somewhere else. So added with the visual of music, or sorry, with the visual of video, and stuff like that, you're able to just paint so much more of a story
Oh yeah.
and keep people engaged, which then helps your watch time, etc., and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, video can definitely do a lot more.
Right. And
Than photo.
to go with that too is like if you, especially agent video, for example, going back to what we just talked about, if you take a picture of yourself and put a caption like a fun day at the beach,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, she's pretty. Like what? You don't know anything about that person.
Right,
You don't
right.
know any. And same thing with houses is, you take a picture of a house and oh, that's nice. But then if
Yeah.
I wonder what the inside looks like, or I
Right.
wonder what the countertops look like, stupid stuff like that. But it's so true. It's
Yeah.
video's better.
Yeah, for sure. Even
Both
like
important, but
thinking about the photos when you take them, it's nice that you can scroll on Zillow and see all the photos and stuff, but we're taking HDR photos. The photos don't look how it does with the natural eye, right? Because we take 5 bracketed photos, so one that's extremely dark, one that's extremely bright, and everything in between, and then we merge all of those in one photo.
the sellers are probably sitting here watching this, and they're like, "We knew it! Like it's a lie." Every buyer ever that walks into a house,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like the pictures.
Exactly. It doesn't look this nice. Whereas video, I feel like, is a nice in between, right? It's a little bit more natural to your eyes, how you would see
Yeah.
exposures, and you can see it in motion. So like every time I'm shooting a room or a place, I'm like, how? Now, obviously, there's some creative shots that we get that it's not how you would like visually walk into the room, but all that to say, like when I'm walking in, where's my eyes naturally going to? How am I? How would a viewer to save you time from a showing? You know what I mean? But also to intrigue somebody. If I want to see that great room. I want to walk through that and see that floor to ceiling fireplace or glass windows, stuff like that. So
I've had actually a couple times now people compliment my listing pictures. That they're great, like they're really, really good and bright listing pictures. But people do say, "Wow, this looks like the pictures," which is a really great compliment.
Yeah.
Because some people use just really wide angle. Like I don't really know how the
certainly.
cameras work or anything, but
Yeah.
to oversize a room and then buyers come in and they're like super disappointed with how small the room actually is.
Right. Yeah.
But I've had like a couple times now, I've shown my own listings and they're like, wow, this looks like the pictures.
Yeah.
Which I feel like sells the house better too,
Yeah,
because
certainly.
they knew what to expect coming in.
Yeah. And they weren't catfish. That's really good to know, good feedback.
And going to like phone pictures, which is like something that a lot of agents do.
Especially in this market.
It's so hurtful to a seller. It's so hurtful to a property. And I get like sometimes obviously our listings come up overpriced and like typically that's on the seller. They want to price it high.
Yeah.
But I get more showings on an overpriced listing with professional pictures than I would if I had cell phone pictures on them. And I strongly believe that.
Yeah.
And these cell phone pictures are so dark, they're so dreary. Like people are just scrolling through, swiping right by them. And quite frankly, that's not going to get a buyer to come look
Yeah.
at a house. It's
Yeah.
like the first thing that they're seeing is the pictures of
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you want that to be professional and good and
Certainly.
something to get them through the door? Because that's our job as listing agents is
Yeah.
to get them through the door.
Yeah.
So I think that cheaping out, and like I said, this is like uncensored. Like we have a lot of agents in our market that are cheap, and
Yeah.
you're making, $7,000 to $10,000 on a $250,000 and above listing.
Yeah.
Like put some fucking money into
Yeah.
it, like do something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't even know, half the time I'm like, I don't even know how you got that listing. Like, what are you telling your seller
Yeah. Yeah.
that was like convincing to get the listing?
Right.
Because
yeah.
I go in and I'm like, hey, I do the video, I do the photos, I do the 3D tour, I do,
Yeah.
and do I do those
Maximum
on
exposure.
every listing?
Yeah.
Every listing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm offering all this.
Yeah.
What the hell did that person offer you
Right.
that you were like, yeah, I'll sign here?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's wild.
Just crazy.
It's wild.
And then when they see their listing come up on the MLS, are they like, what the hell?
I don't get it. Like I'll see, and that's just part of our, how we go to acquire agents and stuff like that. We'll reach out to listings that are sat for over 90 days. Hey, would you like to refresh photos? Stuff like that. I've seen listings for like $700,000 and $800,000 with iPhone. I don't even know, maybe Android. I don't know.
$1 million.
Drives me insane. Like I don't understand how you could. It's an expense, right?
Yeah.
It's an expense to market the property, but also like I was talking to, I can't remember who it was, an agent recently, sometime last week or maybe the week before, and they're like, I think about it like online dating. Like you go into the app and you see the person. If the picture's ugly, you're like, oh, I don't even want to go that.
Yeah.
But then you pull up and you see this house, and it's like, this thing looks dark. It looks small, and you can, if you know how to use your phone right, you can get pretty good, not great, but pretty good photos with your phone. But you have to know how to.
But they don't know how to.
No, I mean
they're awful.
Up top
they're
with a
flip
down
phone
angle.
Camera pictures. That's what they
gosh,
look like.
It is insane, and I just don't understand.
Yeah, and then you gotta love the agents too that like think they're photographers.
Yeah.
We won't name names, but
Yeah.
you gotta love those agents.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same.
Yeah, the angles aren't wide enough. You're taking a still image, and don't get me wrong, there's some practices of that I could see how you use that in Airbnb photos, but for listing photos, even that alone is two different things, Airbnb and listing photos. But yeah, I've got a camera. Oh, I've got a Matterport. Great.
Do you know how to use it?
Yeah, exactly. And do you know how to like actually use it and get the best output? And I get it, photography and investing in the listing, like marketing the property can be expensive, but I think about it in this way, like even in my business, I think about doctor tasks that only I can do. I think about, admin or nurse tasks that I can delegate to somebody else. And really as an agent, you want to be focusing on those doctor tasks, whether that's, cold calling listings or different things like that, listing appointments, et cetera,
And it gets you more business. Like at the end of the day, I believe that offering all of this to a seller shows value more than being like, okay, I want this and that percent, but I'm going to take cell phone pictures on your $1.2 million listing. Like that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And like, I think that it's really to save a buck. And like, that's why I think it's like so yuck and like icky because it's like you want to save a buck.
Yeah.
And I could get it on like a $200 and under $1,000 listing because
certainly
you really wouldn't come out with anything. But to save a buck on a 1.2, 1.5, I've seen them on $3 million listings, like lakefront luxury listings, and to save, what is it, $800 and not out of what, $25,000.
You're picking up dimes to lose dollars.
Exactly.
Like it makes zero sense. But
I think it's icky, and I think that sellers should be asking more questions
yeah.
at listing appointments.
Hmm.
Because yes, while it's like some people are in a rush
Hmm.
and like they just want their house on the market,
Hmm.
the end goal is to get sellers the most money.
Right. Yeah.
And you ain't doing that with cell phone pictures,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own, but it's rethink your career. Like,
Yeah. I don't from like a business perspective and owner, like I don't understand how it could be a good use of time,
right.
you know? And even like me and my wife, as we've built out a team, we have VAs and video editors now. It's like, when I first started, I was editing every single video and I was
I know
spending
you
18-hour
were.
days. Like it's just insane, and now I hire somebody that's better than me at it.
Right.
I hire a VA that can run my social media better than I can. Of course, I have some input and different things like that. And same way of like, I just don't understand how taking pictures could be a good use of an agent's time when you have,
It's not.
when you could be sitting there and going and getting more listings
Right.
or showing buyers houses and getting, I don't know. I just don't see how it's a good time trade-off.
I
But
know.
I'm
And I
not an
get
agent.
that. I mean, it's just crazy. It's literally, I don't understand
Yeah.
people, but it's laziness. It's a different kind of laziness,
Mhm.
if you ask me.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, you're going to do the pictures yourself, but like
Mhm.
you're just being lazy with your listing.
Mhm.
Like you just want to take pictures, throw it up there, and it's
Yeah.
for sale, and then
Yeah.
hopefully you get to collect the full amount.
Mhm.
I find that lazy,
Yeah.
but there's a
Yeah.
lot of things I could say about a lot of agents, but
Yeah.
we'll be careful a little bit. All right. What goes into one of my listing videos?
Hmm. So I think before each listing, you have a general idea. Like we'll go back and forth of like, this is what I'm thinking, and here's the property. And I try to look at the property specifically, what's around, what are some highlights. I try to find old photos of it if I can, just to get an idea. And then a lot of for me, a lot of the creativity flows like when I'm on site. So when I pull up and see it, and then my mind gets to going, and how can I showcase this and this and this, and then kind of going back and forth with your ideas, and then what I like you said, I'll shoot something and be like, nah, scratch this. And same thing, like we'll go film a line. Nah, I'm not. I'm sorry. Like we'll go film a line, and then I'm like, I don't like how it sounds. Let's cut it
Yeah.
down. Let's do this and that.
You're
There's
like,
an
that's 15 seconds,
Yeah.
and it needs to be 6,
Oh yeah,
Megan.
right, exactly. Because it's like, and I found like that's where the sweet spot was, that 45-second mark. So okay, that means you have 5 to 7 seconds here, you have 15 seconds here, and you have 4 seconds here,
Yeah. And
to
it
fit
gets
it all in.
tricky because
Mm-hmm.
you obviously want to showcase all of the features of a listing,
Mm-hmm.
but you also want to keep the video under,
Yeah,
preferably now, 45 seconds.
yeah,
So it gets tricky when you're like, well, you need to like say that, like Kevin's listing, for example,
Mm-hmm.
it has a bar, it has 20 acres, it has Elk Mountain, it
Yeah.
has all these features, and you're like, okay, say that in 6 seconds.
yeah, right.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right.
That was a little dramatic, but
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
just like
that's
say
exactly
all
it.
these features in
Mhm.
like the less amount of times that it would
Right,
actually take
right.
you to say it.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
try.
it is difficult, and I think that's where that's probably the most difficult part when shooting higher end listings in our market, is that I think there's a couple of things that make it difficult on my end to try to piece everything together, is because I know our market's a little bit older, the buyers and sellers, and just north of the Lehigh Valley, I feel like we're just 30 years in the past, just with how we communicate, pen and paper, everything. But all that to say, like, people are a little bit more long-winded, and that's not always the greatest for just like the algorithms of social media.
Right. We want to push
So-
the video as far
Exactly.
as it can go.
Exactly. So I say all that to say, when we come to shooting your videos, it's like, how can we jam pack all these features and say it, but also show it, and then also leave room for some kind of like mystery of like, I have to see this house in person, right? And that's where I think, more and more, like less has become more of like showing it quick, fast. Okay, now send them to go to look at the photos or the Zillow 3D tour, right? So then they can see it. And then the more they look at it, the more they're like, I got to actually see this place,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You go, I mean, I feel like I'm nuts. I don't know how other agents are, but I definitely am particular. Do you feel like there's a lot of agents that are like annoying like that, or be
I
honest,
think,
Josh?
yeah, I think some agents aren't as, I think,
Serious about their social media.
serious about their social media, or they're uncertain of where they want their personal brand to be. And I think for you, you say it's a pain in the butt, but I don't view it as that, because I know where you are, where you're headed, and how you want to get there. So like I'm constantly filtering those things through when it comes to your listing videos. I'm like, okay, I know this is the outcome, or this is how you want to present your personal brand. So I'm thinking about all those filters as we go and shoot. Other agents that I've worked with aren't as, they're still they're still trying to figure out their brand voice. So we'll try different things. We'll try this style or that style, or as far as like intros, or just what kind of mood or theme that the video is, right? So
I think for me, the reason why my brand is so easy in a sense is I don't fake, like I don't,
you're you.
I just am myself,
Yeah.
like I come on this podcast and I like curse, and like that's how I am in person, and like I don't go super crazy, but but it's just I don't find my job fun, or like if I have to fake it through
Right.
my job, So I think I have a sense of humor, and I think people have a sense of humor
Certainly,
too,
yeah.
so they can kind of relate to that. But I think that people that go behind video and do want to establish their brand is like have the brand be you.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
it. And stop trying to copy other people.
And don't be other people. Yeah. That's huge, because then it gets to a point, and I've seen it, where agents are trying to be somebody that they're not. And that's the hardest thing, to get them to act a certain way on camera when it's not them. And that makes my job harder, that makes their job harder. And it's not about the difficulty of my job, but it's just like,
It feels unnatural.
it's impossible,
It feels awkward.
right? And people can see that, right? And that's where I'm just like, I always want somebody to be them. Don't copy, as in like, sure, get an idea from another agent in another market, but like in regards to style or all these different things, it's like, it doesn't have to be this way. Just because it worked for them doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And I've seen that. I've had agents that want a video a certain way, and okay, we can do it, but I know it's not going to perform as well because you're not consistent on social media. So just because their format and everything like that on their platform, it did well, but you post once a week.
Yeah.
So, like, then you want this video to blow up. Now, on the other side, it's not about how many views and all that kind of stuff, because say I did a video, I don't know. So within the past 2 months, I thought it tanked. It got like 100 views. And I was like, I just felt awful. Like, what did I do wrong? How can we re-edit this? All this and that. After like a day or two later, the agent was like, hey, I've got another listing, and another one, and another one. Oh, no, I got like 100 views. And I'm like, man, that's crazy, So all that to say, like, views are great and important, but all that to say, like, be you. If you are you, there's only one Meghan, right? And the people that are going to list with you and your clients are going to find you because you're you. And that's the biggest thing. And just like,
and they're going to be able to, they're going to be able to relate to you better. I've found, like, since I started doing social media, and like people who want to hire me, they have a similar sense of humor that I do, or like they could take a joke, or you know what I mean? So they're much more enjoyable to work with than Fred, who wants to overprice his listing by $300,000
Yeah.
and be a pain in your ass.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would much rather my client base and like who I attract than those clients because
Certainly.
they're just not worth the headache.
Yeah, yeah, and we've dealt with that as well. Like, and we're super blessed to be in the position where, if somebody comes to us asking for certain things, hey, maybe we're not the right provider for you. Here's so and so or so and so. They might be able to meet your vision.
Yeah.
Just because I know my limits, and I also know what I'm willing or not willing to do. Because I don't want to. It's just.
Well, then at the end of it, they're going to be like, well, I wanted this. And you're like, well, I said I couldn't do that,
right.
and you're going to be unhappy anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. How long does it take from filming to final edit when you do it, not your VA?
What else I've got on my
both.
plate? Yeah. So if I've got, I don't even edit anymore. So if I were to, I'll just say, if I had nothing else on my plate from filming to final edit. So filming a property takes, depending on the size, right, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
Typically, we are at my listings to film. We usually take on average like 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but it depends on the agent.
yeah, it depends on agent, depends on house, depends on, square foot, like all of those kind of factors. But let's call it on the high end 3 hours of filming, because let's say I've got an hour drive time,
Right.
an hour film, hour drive time back, and then 3 hours of leave house, film, get back, upload backup footage, all that kind of stuff, throw it in the timeline. Then I'm culling through everything. I would say an edit start to finish anywhere between 5 and 8 hours.
That's crazy.
Just for a 45-second.
45-second finished polish
Crazy.
clip.
And I'm by far not the most proficient or efficient editor either. So that's why I've delegated to people that are better than me. And again, kind of thinking about doctor, nurse and admin tasks. Like, I know that for my business to be sustainable, I cannot edit. I have to manage and be on the road and shoot and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's with me. And that's like 8 hours, like, face in front of the screen, like, and stuff like that. So
and we don't appreciate that at all. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, and I knew your answer somewhat because we've discussed it before. But still, I'm like, hey, Josh, is that video ready yet?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you got it yet?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But now with our team, we still try to aim between the 2 to 4 day turnaround, because we want to.
And it's been coming out that way. Yeah.
Yeah. We want to make sure that everything is right, between sound design, color grade, effects, and storytelling. Or sometimes I'll watch something through and I'm like, let's reorder this, and this.
Right.
But yeah.
All right. Couple more questions here. What is it actually like working with me specifically?
As a vendor?
Full honesty.
As a vendor, working with you is, I think it's easier. There's parts that are easy and there's parts that are more difficult. The easier parts for me is you're very clear on what you want. And as a creative that's trying to portray your vision, that is a lot easier on our end, because it's like, I know what it is that I'm trying to do, versus other folks that are like very vague, and it's like, and then it's like walking on eggshells. You're not exactly sure. You hope it works or it looks good or whatever. So that I would say is easy. It's like, as a vendor, and I can only imagine as a homeowner or buyer or seller, all that kind of stuff, what it would be like is like, you're very straight up and to the point and walking through the process of like, what things are, right? And I've heard some back and forth with between homeowners and as I'm, at the property shooting and stuff like that. So I think the communication there and your expectations, like setting those expectations are huge. And all that to say, that's what makes it easy on our end. What makes it difficult, I would say, is the turnaround time. Like we want to make sure that we're getting that stuff back to you, because I know how it is. You guys have a deadline to meet to get it on the market and stuff like that. So we're trying to get better with turnaround times, but then also, because you have such a high vision, trying to constantly meet that, you know what I mean? And so being on our toes of like, how can we make this work? And that's really what it is. It's just like that problem solving is probably the more difficult thing, because we know where you are and where you're headed and where you want your brand to be. So it's just like, okay, like, and it's almost like, and not that we don't do this with other folks, but it's like each video you're like determined, like this one has to be it. Like, every video like, we do, you're like, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. I've watched it 40 times over. This is my favorite. So it's like, we want that same, because that is a good feeling. And we love the fact that like, you love the videos, right? And you're texting, I love it. So that makes us feel good and that we did our job well. And that's what we want to serve you well. So all that to say, that is probably the challenge, the most challenging part is like, okay, this one was great or excellent. How can we make it even better?
How can we always the next level? Yeah.
I think the what makes that a little bit more challenging too is like we could have what was Kevin's like what the listing price, right? We could have a really high end listing and then go down to something that's like 250, 300.
Yeah.
So how do we create that same kind of energy and vibe and translate it to a listing that isn't as extravagant as something that's already kind of showstopping?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've gone into listings and like we were just done filming another one that was like a showstopper, and then we go into a listing, we're like, what do we do here?
Yeah,
because it's like brown paneling, carpet,
dated,
like what's great about this property?
Yeah.
But the one, and I'm specifically thinking of one, and I don't know if it's the same one you're thinking of, but because I don't really want to like put the property on blast, but this particular one, I think we just like came off a high of doing like 3 other ones that were like really awesome.
Yeah.
And then we went into this one and we weren't texting like back and forth beforehand. And like we went inside and we're like, what do we do here?
Yeah.
But that one ended up doing so well, just the video in general. Right. So what would you say that I do differently than most agents or other agents or any agents?
I'd say since we've been working together, and even when, because I think there was a period in time where I would just do your video and then you had another provider do photos and everything like that. I think that's super valuable. There's only 4 agents.
To have you do both?
That do like 4 agents that I can think of that do that for every single property.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. Like, obviously there's more times because depending on the cost of the home and your commission and all that kind of stuff, you're spending more on a percentage wise on marketing it. But now you have that listing portfolio and go to show to the next person. I do this on every single listing, no matter the price, unless it's it's not habitable or something like that. You know what I mean?
Might tear down.
Yeah. And which we completely understand that. But but I say that I can think of 4, maybe 5 agents who do that for every single property. And I think that makes you stand out as well, and showing sellers that you're serious about your craft as an agent, but also getting the most views on their property and stuff like that.
Right.
So
couple more, Josh, and then I'm gonna let you go home.
Okay.
Or
I have a couple questions for you, but
you do?
Yeah.
I'm scared. All right, you want to go into that first then?
Sure. What? Not just for us, and I'm not asking for you to blow gas and stuff like that.
No.
But
blow all the gas.
What? For your other agents that are in other markets that are listening and stuff like that, what to you makes a good service provider? Like for photo, video, and stuff like that, what are things that you've like find valuable working with, whether it was with us or your previous photographer and stuff like that? Like, what, for somebody that is transitioning from using phone pictures to, hey, I actually want to use a photographer.
Yeah.
What are some things that they should look for?
Well, I mean, there's a couple things that you do. First being, besides like the quality of everything, just being ready for me to be like, hey, I just got this listing today and it needs to go on the market tomorrow, or like it needs to go on the market Thursday, and like I need you to make room for me somewhere in your
So
schedule.
availability is
Yeah.
huge.
So like you are always very accommodating, and you're like, well, she needs to do, and you probably bend over backwards. Like I don't see it behind the scenes, like
Yeah.
changing your schedule, but and it's not that I don't care about your schedule, so don't think that.
No,
but
I
I'm
get it.
like,
Yeah.
you've been very like, okay, I'm there. Like we could do it at this time. And you've been very accommodating outside of your online schedule, which is obviously where I'm supposed to do the booking. And if I see it blocked off, I still text you.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
ask. Yeah.
I need
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one, you're super accommodating with that. I think, the quality of the pictures are very good. And just like I said before, getting more buyers in the door is the main goal with listings. So I think that your pictures do that. And also, you're very comfortable to work with. And that's really valuable to me as well. My old photographer, and my old video, he like did some video stuff for me, but and I actually had one videographer do one video for me as well. And I think comfortability is huge for me. People wouldn't believe this, but I hate public speaking more than anything in the world. I mean, like, that's probably my biggest fear, and you wouldn't know that, or people watching me on social media wouldn't know that.
Right.
But the first time I filmed with you, for me to say at the end, let's do it again, is like huge for me.
Certainly.
So that first session, you were kind of like, it's going to feel super awkward. And like, you kept telling me that, like, it's going to feel super awkward, but like, just do it. He's like, you're like, oh, I do this every day. He's like, you're fine. And now when I mess up in front of you, I'm like, fuck you, Josh. Like,
yeah, I got to get you that bloopers reel of all these bloopers.
But especially at John and Nicole's house, over on Clover Lane, I was messing up like one after the other, and it was like 6 takes, and I'm like, why is this happening to me? But that's huge for me. It's just feeling comfortable doing the video, and now it's like piece of cake. I mean, like, to do the podcast with you too is super comfortable because we're filming together all the time.
Certainly, yeah.
So yeah, those are huge things for me, and I think the comfortability is huge for a lot of people. And I think that if you're going to be filming people in a vulnerable state, and somebody who's coming from doing no video to just starting to do video, I think that's a huge thing for people. And even Claudia Kowaleski, after you did her first video, she came back to the office, and I was there, and she was like, he's so comfortable to film with.
That's awesome.
I was like, I told you, he's great.
Yeah.
But that's a really big thing for me, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's huge. So you would say, number one, availability, because that's huge. And then number two, having just like being comfortable on camera, being comfortable and relatively easy to work with.
Yeah.
Especially when we get to, at least from my perspective of seeing like agent on camera, kind of higher production videos, like some videographers are very like, and just creatives in general can be very narrow-minded or very like kind of rude, and they don't mean to be rude, I don't think, but very cold. And like
poker face. And that's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because you don't relate on any sort of level. So it's like, Is
Yeah.
he judging me?
Yeah, and then in your mind you're like, okay, am I doing something wrong? And he's not being verbal. And I think I learned that from being in the wedding industry is like you're on somebody's biggest, most important day of their life, and learning how to direct them and make them feel comfortable when all eyes are on them and stuff like that was huge for me to like learn that and then apply that to the real estate industry of like you guys are dealing with, you know, properties and, you know, people's investments that are worth over millions of dollars and stuff like that all at one time by deadlines, and you're wearing so many hats, and now you have to be an actor. Okay,
Right.
so our job is how can we make this as seamless for you guys and
Yeah.
make you feel as comfortable as possible, and also be your biggest cheerleaders. Hey, you look good. Hey, this didn't look so good. Let's make this adjustment. Oh, your hair, let's fix that, and blah blah blah. You know, to make it easier for you guys. And so number one, availability. Number two, an agent should look for somebody that's
you feel
comfortable to work with. Yeah,
For sure.
that's
I mean,
huge.
it was like night and day doing my first video with, and I think you know who I'm talking about, but with that person, and it was like, okay, say what you want to say, and I'm like, well, I don't know what I want to say.
Yeah,
Like I just
yeah, right.
And I also think like collaboration is huge too. Like,
Certainly. Yeah.
you know, you're putting your stuff out there too. Like this is your work. Let's collaborate and see like what's going to be the best
Yeah.
product to put out. So I think that a videographer should care about what they're putting out, not just kind of there to film and be like, okay, here's your listing video.
Right.
What do you want to say? What do you want to do?
Right.
Like you ask me like, what are some cool features about this house? Oh, we should say something about that. Oh, let's go into ChatGPT for that line. Like, oh, that was a bad line. Like you
Right.
always have an opinion. And I like that because it's like, I mean, you've seen me from my first video to where I am now. It's probably night and day. You're like, wow, she's got this shit now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah.
to say
You gotta
anything,
figure
you
it out.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was huge for me. And honestly, like from day one, like that was a deciding factor whether I was going to keep doing video at all. So look at me now.
Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. So with that, with you doing video, and if it's okay, are we okay on time?
Yeah.
Okay.
This can go as long as
So
possible.
with right, there's the videos that we produce, but then your other videos, your like DIY videos, the market updates and things of that nature. How have you felt that add value to your business in the last year and change? Of you like being consistent posting those videos, like how has that affected your business?
I mean, immensely. And I don't think that video is like a direct, how do I explain this?
Like it doesn't directly convert to getting
Yeah,
clients.
it's like, it's not like, and a couple, you know, I still get leads like through
Sure.
Instagram and
Sure.
TikTok and Facebook, and people see me, and this is like who they want to hire, and that does happen.
Yeah.
But mostly it's like visibility. You know, I bring Wyatt to daycare, and the daycare teachers add me on Facebook, and then I go back to daycare and they're like, oh my God, we love all your videos. Like, these are future clients.
Sure.
In a long scheme of things. Scheme. That's like a bad word. This isn't a scheme. A long
grand scheme of things.
scheme
Yeah, there we
of
go.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is a long game.
Yeah.
So not only like just people that I meet out, you know, in public and then add me on Facebook or follow my page and then see all of my content. This is referral partners. You know, real estate agents are seeing me
Right.
all over social media. And that's visibility and like, hey, I actually know a Poconos agent who can help you or like help their clients, help their referrals. So
Right.
it's just a long process, I guess you could say. And it's so much of visibility. And I get compliments on my videos all the time. But like people on social media, like not everybody's ready to buy and sell their house, you know?
Right, yeah.
It's not like we've been in this house for almost a year now. Like if I saw an agent online, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, hey, like, just because I saw you, I'm ready to list my
ready to
house.
list.
Like, that's not how it works.
Right.
So, these people could list their house in 4, 5, 6 years, and who's gonna be the first person that they think of? And
You're top of
that's
mind.
exactly, and
Yeah.
like that's the whole point of social media.
Yeah.
It's not like, and so many agents, they're like, well, it's not working. It's like, it is working.
Yeah.
It's just, you have people on your social media that aren't ready to buy and sell right now.
Right, exactly.
So like, you can't just be like, oh, that person's not hiring me. Like,
Yeah.
they don't
not
have
ready.
an opportunity to hire you yet.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's a very, very long ride of social media. I've been doing it, for a year and a half now, very consistently. And it's been huge for my business. I mean, I get compliments every day. Oh my God, I see your videos. Oh my God, you don't know me, but I've seen your videos and like, I know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, that's such an awesome feeling that like,
Yeah.
you're reaching these people and they're not commenting, they're not liking, they're not anything, but they're still there.
But they're watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's huge.
So it's such a long game, but it's fun and it's exciting. And when somebody actually recognizes you, that's when it's like, wow, like, I feel like that's a win.
Yeah.
Like, not, oh, I got a listing from social media. It's like, I'm winning because people are seeing me.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm in their algorithm. So they're going to see me for a while.
Right.
And when they're ready, 5, 6, 7 years down the road, whatever, 2 years, whenever they're ready, I'll be there.
Yeah. I'd be really interested to see what happens in the next like 10, 15 years. And you have to correct me if I'm wrong on this. I heard a stat last year saying that like 40% of homes that are owned by boomers. And so give or take, let's say, in the next 15 to 20 years, boomers are going to be passing on, going into nursing homes,
Right.
XYZ. And who is going to be in charge of those estates? And who's going to be in charge of who's going to inherit that? The millennials, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, right? And where are X and, Gen Z and the millennials?
Yeah.
Social media.
Yeah.
They're,
exactly.
Sure, we're driving around and we're seeing the billboards, but really, we've got billboards in our pockets that we're on all the time. So, so I think I'd be really interested to see. I mean, obviously, all this social media stuff is relatively new, but be really interesting to see in the next 15 to 20 years what that is going to do for your career and other agents that are really investing their time and efforts into social media.
Well, yeah, it's like if you're not doing it now, everything's a long game, like blogging, websites.
Yeah.
Like everything's an algorithm. AI is behind everything too, in reality.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing it now, like what's your business going to be like in 10 or 15 years? You know, there's going to be new technology always coming out.
I mean, even now the shifts of
I know.
chat, who's the best realtor in the area that I should use? And
Right.
even chat having like ad spaces for different things. It's like,
Which is crazy. I just saw that. I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that one.
yeah.
But it is what it is, right?
For sure.
So I'm just gonna do a closing question.
Sure.
Because we are about an hour in.
Gotcha.
Which is great.
Good.
But what's the one thing sellers should care about most when marketing their home?
Sellers. Oh, sellers, you gotta declutter. Because we can Photoshop stuff out.
We made a podcast about this. Actually, it's so funny.
Oh my gosh, we cannot, especially if you're doing video, we can't remove it in video.
It's a trip hazard.
It's a trip hazard. No, especially me with this gimbal doing my ninja walk backwards. The amount of times you've probably seen me bump into things. Declutter. What are some things that sellers can do?
Should care about.
Should care about. Okay.
Declutter.
So declutter, but in the same hand, and this is where there's got to be some balance. Like if you've lived in the home for 40, 50 years, there's only so much decluttering you can do,
Right.
right?
You have to
So
pack.
yeah, you got to pack and get ready. I would say some of the stuff would be, I think more of the issue that we run into is like exteriors, like pressure washing the sides of the house and things like that. Um, but yeah, that and then touching up things because we get asked, and most times we say no because I don't want to misrepresent a property. But like, imagine if there was just like, drywall, tape, and mud on the wall here. Oh, can you Photoshop that? Well, by the time you're showing this, is it going to be done
Yeah.
or not? Because I don't want to misrepresent the property and show that
Right.
it's not fully ready. Or if there's like a broken window, or one time there actually was a broken window, and they're like, just close the blinds so they don't see that, and I'm like,
That's lying.
that's misrepresenting what's kind of going on here, and I always feel a little, I'm torn with that. It's like I don't want to be in any violation, and I don't want you to be in any violation, and you knowingly want to be in I don't know, whatever,
Right.
But yeah, I would say like fix up those things before
Cosmetic,
listing.
little
Yeah, the
cosmetic things.
cosmetics, because the better, kind of like what we talked about earlier, is like the better that I film something or photograph something, the better output it's going to be. But if I can
The
only,
edits everywhere. It's
yeah,
not
I
gonna
can
come
only
out
make
good.
poop so shiny. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that's what I feel like I'm being asked to do, and I'm like, there's only so much I can do. But yeah, I would say the cosmetics are huge, and decluttering is huge.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good one. And hire an agent that does professional photography.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, professional photos.
photography.
That's huge.
Well, Josh, thanks so much for coming.
Absolutely.
I knew this was going to be great, and
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, for sure.
So thanks for watching. This wasn't in the MLS, and we will see you next time.